Hello everyone, I am Chinese Girl Etta. Welcome back to my channel. And when talking about the rural China, many foreigners may imagine one picture. Old houses, fields, farmers, quiet roads. But after seeing different villages in China, I feel rural China is not just one single picture. My husband comes from a village in Shandong in northern China, and I grow partly in Shiling, Huadu, in Guangzhou, a northern city. They are both called rural villages, but they feel different. In Shandong, the village still feels connected to land, courtyards, family roots, and slower life. But in Shiling, the village feels much more connected to business, factories, markets, shops, and city life. So today, I want to show you two different kinds of rural China. Not to say which one is better, but to show you that China's countryside is changing in different ways. The first feeling I get into Lofton Village is space. The road feels wider, the houses are lower, the sky feels more open. And the rhythm is much slower than in the cities. You may see an elderly person sitting outside, a dog walking slowly, an electric bike passing by, a neighbor talking from doorway. The street can be quiet for a long time. For me, this quietness feels very different from Guangdong. In northern villages, you can still feel that life is connected to land, courtyards, seasons, and family houses. It's not completely old. There are new roads, new houses, phones, mobile payment, electric bikes, and modern things. But the basic feeling is still rural, open space, snow riding, old people staying, young people often working outside. One thing I find interesting in Northern Village is that old and new stands together. You may see an old courtyard here, and a new two-story house right next to it. Some houses look new, but nobody lives there every day. Maybe the children work in the city. Maybe the family only comes back during holidays. Maybe the house was built after years of working outside. So the house is not only for living, it also says, "This is still our home. Our family is still connected to this village. Even if people leave for work, they still come back here." That's why Lofton villages can feel quiet, but not empty. The young people may not be here every day, but the village still keeps their family stories. In northern villages, I can still feel the connection to land and seasons. In the city, most people live in apartments. Life happens inside buildings. But here, life happens in yards, roads, fields, and open spaces. People may grow vegetables, dry things in the sun, keep tools outside, sit by the door, talk to neighbors from the yard. This kind of life feels slower and more physical. When it's cold, you feel winter directly. When it is harvest season, you see it around you. This is something urban life often hides, but Lofton Village life still keeps it visible.
青瓜是黄瓜，这个是花椒树。
花椒树，
对，
这个啥孩子哈？这啥孩子接着写了？哎，你跑去玩去了？弄俺婆婆，你婆婆？啊，看孩子。
嗯
你这熊了有活了。有活了，我没看过，都没得家伙。那孩。啊，那孩。啊，伢说哈。啊。
狗尾巴草。好久没见过狗尾巴草。 猎人食堂。
好，
那么涂个口红啊，要不要？
豆芽就是。
大的肉吃，要大的要小点。
两个差
不多了吧？
一个小点，再拿一个大的吧。
烧个西红柿汤。
大点的，这个大吧？
的那个可以。
行。
一个新的
马桶刷吗？
这个。怎么都没有质量好点的？就没见过这些卖了。怎么？还有2只大的西瓜。
八角呢？
还有粉条、八角。
看奶奶。
弟弟，弟弟，弟弟，
圆子吃圆子，吃圆子，吃圆子跟长春叶块成的，跟长春叶
哦，跟他姐一样的是。
长春叶叫的圆子。
那个是喝坏的吧？
什么意思啊？
一会儿不说哈。
你在老娘看见。
Now let's look at my side. Shiling, Huadu, Guangzhou. It's also called a rural area, but the feeling is different from Shandong village. You don't feel land first, you feel business first here. You can see shops, markets, delivery, small factories, people coming and going, buildings closer together, streets that feels busier. In Guangdong, many villagers are very close to towns, factories, markets, and city life. So the village is not only a place where people farm or live quietly. It can also be a place where people do business, rent houses, work, deliver goods, sell things, and move quickly. For me, this is one of the biggest differences between northern and southern rural China. The northern village still feels more connected to land. The southern village near Guangzhou feels more connected to commerce. Shiling is also personal to me. I spent my childhood here, and my grandparents are still living here. So when I go through these village roads, I can still remember some old feelings of this village. Small roads, old houses, neighbors, small shops. But today, Shiling doesn't feel like a quiet traditional village anymore. It feels more like a town. More shops, more buildings, more people from different places. More business, more traffic, more rental houses, more daily movement. When I was little, I didn't think about this. It was just where I lived. But now, after seeing my husband's Shandong village, I can feel the difference more clearly. Both are rural China, but they are moving in different directions. This area used to be fields here. People grew vegetables or rices here, but now it became a small park for people to rest. This is a newly built park, and people grow some trees here, and they also spend time here in the morning or in the afternoon. Follow the small path. I can still find the small river I used to play when I was little. Look at the river. See, some people still grow some vegetables there. But that becomes another village. That's not my village. The only thing remains familiar to me, only the little river left. Great changes have taken place to my village, and it has developed a lot. This is our ancestral hall. It keeps the old thing as it was. It is used for worship the ancestors. It used to hold the clan meetings, united clan members. Why do so many southern villages are more commercial? From what I've seen, the first reason is the location. Places like Huadu are close to Guangzhou. They are close to markets, factories, roads, logistics, and business opportunities. So land and houses are not only for family living, they can also become shops, workshops, rental rooms, warehouses, small restaurants, delivery points. In this kind of village, people may not talk about farming very much. They talk about work, rent, business, customers, orders. This is very different rural life from the northern village. It is still called a village, but the village has already become part of the city's economic life. When I was little, people used to live in very small houses. As the development of these places, thanks to the development of the leather goods industry, many people from other provinces come here to work here. So they need to rent a house to live. People in this village, they build very tall buildings, like 5 or 6 floors to meet their needs. The movement of people also feels different. In the Shandong village, many young people live. They work in cities, towns, factories, or other places. So during normal days, the village can feel quiet. You see more elderly people. You see empty streets. You see houses waiting for people to come back during holidays. But in Shiling, the movement is different. People come in, people rent houses, people work in shops, markets, factories, delivery, and small business. So the village does not only lose people, it also receives people. This is a big difference. In many Lofton village, the village becomes a place people return to. In many southern commercial villages, the village becomes a place people come to work and live. So what is rural China today? After seeing these two places, there is no one answer. In northern villages like my husband's village in Shandong, village is more connected to the land, courtyards, old people, family houses, and roots. It's changing. Roads are better. Houses are newer. People use phones and mobile payment. But the village still feels snow and connected to the land. In southern villages like Shiling and in Huadu, the change feels different. The village is closer to the city, closer to business, closer to factories, markets, shops, logistics, and people move in and out. It is still called a village, but it already feels partly like a town. So this is what I want to show in this video. Rural China is not simply old, it's not simply poor, and it's not simply modern either. And it's changing, not in the same way everywhere. Are villages in your country different from us? Are some villages becoming empty while others become more commercial? Leave a message and tell me in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye bye.